Next concept is the selection of circuit breaker. So we understood that what are the different type of the fault, means a symmetrical and the unsymmetrical fault. So generally these faults is not occurring frequently, whereas in case of the power system. But when they occurs, there is a large heavy current which is going to flow in the circuit, so resulting in the causing of permanent damage to the equipment which is connected in power system. Hence, it is very important to isolate the healthy part of the system when there is an occurrence of the fault. So generally we do have, these are all the things which is done by protecting devices. So it is the job of the protecting system to recognize and to isolate or to remove the fault. Okay, there are the three basic part which is included in the protection system, that is circuit breaker, relays and the transducers. So let us understand the working, the principle of these devices, that is circuit breaker, relays and the transducers. So circuit breaker will automatically operating electrical switch which is capable of interrupting the currents. Okay, so when there is an occurrence of the fault in a system, the current increases and the voltage will decreases. So these changes can be considered as intelligence or the parameters for isolating and to understanding the phenomenon of the fault for the protective devices. So there is an intelligence device, that is nothing but we can call it as a relay, which is functionally a level detector. So it performs, there is a switching action. So when the input voltage which is going to meet or exceeds a specified and adjustable values. So this will turn in, this in turns is that sending the signal to the circuit breaker. The function, so generally we'll call it as a relay, is a brain. So this going to understanding and to um, finding that whether the fault means whatever the power which is flowing is whether it within the range or not. Okay, this is makes a sensing. Okay, sense and the sending signal to the circuit breaker to isolate the fault. So it is very important to understand that the circuit breaker or high voltage high current devices, so these relays are working at low voltage and the low currents. So relay must sense the change in the voltage and the currents which is experienced by the breakers. So therefore these values, that's the high voltage and the high current, should be reduced to the proportional value of the actual value in the circuit breaker before which is going to feed to the relays. It is nothing but, so this should not be used for high voltage and the high current. So hence we need some devices to reduce this voltage and the currents. So hence these devices will call it as a transducers. So there are the two types of the transducers. So one is a potential transformers, so which is suggested to use for step down the voltages, and another we have current transformers. Okay, so these are used to reduce the currents. So designing operation of these protected devices is a high level topic. So we are going to discuss about this concept, how, what, and parameters, all those things. So that we are going to understand in deep in the higher semester, that is a power system protection. Okay, in that subject we will understanding that. Okay, there is a typical a circuit breaker operating time which is shown in this the figure here. So once there is a fault occurs, the protective system get activated. Okay, there is some amount of the time which is going to elapse before the relay determines that there is a overcurrent or the over voltage in the circuit and initiate the trip signal. So this, the time will be sometimes it will be nanosecond or microsecond and then millisecond depending upon the system, depending upon the sensitivity of the system. So this system will call, this time will call it as a detection time. Okay, the occurrence fault and there is a time lapse to take the decision. Okay, whether to understand that, because all the power means the current which is flowing in a system is not a the over current. Okay, so at that time what will happens, the contact of the circuit breaker held together, means there is a contact which is going to happen with the help of the spring mechanism. So if you look at that circuit breaker mechanism, you will understand that. So with the trip signal, the spring mechanism which is going to release the contact, since the circuit breakers which are employed in a place where that power levels is very high. So whenever there is a contacts are open, so it has to interrupt very high value of the current both during the load condition and also the fault condition. So since the power system are predominantly inductive in nature, the interruption of the current when the breaker opens, its contact is associated with the both high voltages induced which is across the contacts and the large value of the voltage gradient which is appears in the medium between the two contacts. Okay, so this is nothing but this is going to happen during the interrupting time. So this voltage means this is going to make them ionization. Okay, there is a medium hereby there is a maintaining of the flow of the current. So this current which is going to generate a very high value of the extreme heat and the light, so that is nothing but we can call it as electric arc. Okay, at this time. So about this ionization we will understand in deep in the higher semester. Different mechanisms are used for elongating the arc such that it can be cooled and extinguished. So there are the three different medias: air, liquid and the solid. Okay, therefore the circuit breaker has to withstand so this kind of the current from instant of the initiation of the fault to the time of the arc which is going to extinguished. Okay, so this is how there is initiation. Okay, initiation and the interruption. So at this time there is a current working. So if we could be able to get this whatever the ionization particles, then we can able to extinguish the arc. If not, there is a possibility of the breakdown may take place. Hence, so okay, the circuit breaker will open. So when this is going to open the both the ends, there is an arc which is going to extinguish. Okay. So there are the two factors which are of the importance for the selection of the circuit breaker. So one is maximum instant of the current. So breaker can be able to withstand. So generally we'll call it as momentary duty of the current of the circuit breaker. Then the total current when the breaker which is going to make the contact. Okay. So this is called as interrupting current. Okay. You will see that. So momentary current which is shown here. Okay, so momentary current is that, okay, which flows during the subtransient period of the fault. So we have discussed that and also understood that instantaneous current which is flowing will contain AC component as well as the DC offset of the current. So where we have neglected the DC component, stating that it will be accounted for empirical basis. Okay, means we are considering that this is a 1.6. So to consider in that the RMS value of this current in the circuit breaker, it must be withstand. So this is going to give a momentary current which the circuit breaker will have to withstand. Then the interrupting current, this is going to be in there during the contact or opening. So whenever the circuit breaker is lower than the momentary current, so this is the current which is flowing through the breaker when its contacts are get open. This current is depending upon the speed of the circuit breaker, the speed of the circuit breaker between the occurrence of the fault and to extinction of the arc. So it is normally specified in the formation of the cycle of the power frequency. For the one cycle, if we are considering that for 50 hertz, okay, so 1 by 50 is nothing but 0.02 millisecond. So there are the different type of the standard speeds of the circuit breaker, that is 8, 5, 3, 2 or 1.5 cycles. Okay, so it is recommended that the using of subtransient reactance model for the synchronous generator and the transient reactance model of the synchronous motors. So interrupting current may be asymmetrical since it is containing of the some DC component may still continue to decay. So said this, hence we need some approximation for this. So these are the approximation like speed of the circuit breaker considering of multiplying factor. So 8 cycle we'll consider it is 1, 5 cycle 1.1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.5 cycle it is 1.5. So what are the based on what parameters we'll consider the selection of the circuit breaker. Basically there are the four things. First one is normal working level, another one is momentary current, then we have normal working voltage. Sorry, there is only three things. Okay, then the speed of the circuit breaker. Okay, so this is about the theoretical part of considering the symmetrical fault in a power system. Let us discuss the next numerical. Determine the fault MVA if a fault takes place at F. Okay, at this point in the diagram shown, the per unit value of the reactance are given on a base of 100 MVA. So this is not the regular problem how we solved in the previous. Directly he has given that the values of the reactance in per unit. We have to determine what is the fault. Okay, what is the fault takes place at F. Okay, you can observe here there is an F. So here it is looks like complicated because we can see here this is a star and another part of the network is connected in delta. Okay, before solving this we should know how we are transferring from delta to star and star to delta. Okay, it is time to refresh the things. Okay, so this is the delta equivalent and this is the star equivalent. Okay, consider that from star to delta. Okay, star having RA, RB and the RC, A, B and the C terminal. Okay, delta having A, B and the C. So this is denoted as R1, R2 and the R3, any format. Okay, clockwise or anti-clockwise, whatever the thing we have. Okay, star to delta. Let's see first star to delta how we need to transfer. So here in between this is going to locate. Okay, RA, RB and the RC. Okay, in between A, B and the C. Okay, I will write these once. Okay, okay, consider this. So this part is RA, this part is RB and the RC. Okay, this is what. So R1 will become this adjacent value RA, RB plus RB and the RC plus RA and the RC divided by RC. Okay, opposite to that. Okay, similarly for the R2 and the R3 value will get Okay, so if you know this equation, then we can able to calculate for the R2 and the R3. So this is nothing but R delta is equal to 3 times of uh, the star value. Similarly, for how we converted from delta to star. Okay, delta to star here. So this is RA is equal to, okay, this R1 into R2. Where is RA? This is located at this point, RA. Okay, R1 and R2 divided by R1, R2 and the R3. Similarly for the RB, what will happens? This is located at this point, RB. So this is R1, R3 divided by R1, R2, R3. Okay, similarly for the R3, RC. Okay, so this is nothing but R star is equal to the delta value divided by 3. Okay, this is how we are converting from star to delta and the delta to star. Refresh once again. Okay, all these things. So here for our conventional, what we are using is the diagram which is representing is remains the same. You can observe here 0 0.1, 0 0.3, 0.1. Okay, 0 0.5, 0 0.5. This is 0 0.1, 0 0.3, 0.1. So this is considering neutral. Okay, this is junction. Okay, I'm making that junction as a neutral. Okay, so I can transfer this, consider this node 1, 2 and 3. Okay, this is node 1. Okay, 0.1 and 0.3. This is what 0.1 and 0.3. For the node 2, you can observe here, this is a 0.1 and the zero point 0.5 and the 0.3. This is a 0.5 is between 1 and 2. Okay, between the 0.1 and 2. Similarly for the 3, okay, so you can see here, this is a 0.1, 0.1 and zero point 0.5. Okay, 0.1 here, 0.1 and the 0.5. Okay, this is where the fault is takes place. So call this, if we consider these two figures as one. Okay, so we know that converting star connected reactance to its equivalent delta. Okay, star value. So which one you considering as a star value? You can see here the 0.1, 0.3 and the 0.5. So this is nothing but the star to delta. Okay, this is star to delta. You have equation this. So by using this equation, you will get 0 0.4, 0.23 and the 0.77. Okay, then so again we need to putting back to the delta equivalent. Okay, what we'll get here, so this existing is connected star to delta equivalent. These two are connected in parallel and these two are connected in parallel. So you'll get this is a 0.1, this is a 0.1 and a 0.46. Okay, equivalent you will get 0.082 connected in parallel. 0.7 and a 0.1 is connected in parallel, you will get 0.0885. Okay, this is 0.5, 0.23 and 0.3. Okay, so this is what. So again, considering this equation as, sorry, figure as 3. So here again converting delta back to the star further. Okay, delta to the star connected this. Okay, 0.082, 2.3 and 0.0885. Okay, this is the star equivalent you will get. Okay, these are connected in series and these two are connected in series. So this is a 0.1, so this is of 0.0029. Okay, so these values will, this is a series, this is part also series. Okay, will get connected in parallel combination. Okay, whatever the equivalent we have, okay, these two are connected in parallel, equivalent then to the series, so you'll get a 0.2329. Okay, again it is connected in parallel, so you'll get 0.07. So this is a considered equation 4. So what we have to calculate is MVA short circuit. Consider that we have, okay, we know that it is on 100 MVA base. So what is the Z per unit is got? What it is 0.07. So hence we'll get MVA short circuit is of 1428.57 MVA. So this is what the problem how we are solving on a 100 MVA base.